Shot, Jackie.
Get Pharaoh George's, I don't know what you call that, like a meme thing on his camera. Friend of mine's got it, and they don't know how to change it. So they're like this dog the whole time and don't know how to change it.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a dog or a cow or something.
Yeah.
There's another one. Yeah, there's some interesting pictures here.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. For those that are new, while you're stepping in, we normally do sort of like a BTC overview. We look at the general market as a whole, and then we start sort of smashing altcoins, looking at areas, levels, talking about how we go about things. And then we also get, we take some coins from you guys as well in the chat. So that's the general process we follow. Obviously, if you have any questions along the way, drop them in the chat. If they are relevant to everybody, we'll deal with them. And yeah, good to have Craig back today. We've missed you. 2 weeks, I think it's been.
Yeah.
So yeah, welcome back, Craig.
Yeah, good to be back.
How are we going here on the poll? Bullish or bearish? Always bullish, lately.
Yeah.
77%. Nice.
Yeah,
So just from my side,
that comment this morning of Rand saying, what this 30K on Bitcoin, I was like, is someone defending it, dropping it lower, or is someone just keep pushing it so that it gets up there? It's an interesting thought. Like, what games are being played here? Because we've been in this range for how long now, Bill? I mean, or Joe,
it's over a month.
4 weeks,
4 weeks. So Rand's now saying, like, what's going on? Someone's either pushing it to keep it up there or putting a kind of a buy wall to stop it dropping below.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jay, I'm hoping you're going to take us through that. Just from my side, about 30 minutes ago, I went long on Render and Link. If anybody's interested, they just looked like good levels. So I'll take you guys through that later while reasoning why I'm done on that. Jay, are you long anything?
I'm actually short Link, but that's fine.
When did you enter?
Don't worry about that. Let's concentrate on Bitcoin.
Okay, we're gonna have this Link debate just now. This is gonna be great. Okay, nice. Take us through BTC.
We're still in this boring sideways market, and we've been here, as I say, since 4 weeks, 21st of June. Pretty much going from the range low, which is between 29,500 up to 30. And going up to that range high between sort of 31 going up to 31,800. And you see we've been ranging for the last 4 weeks up and down. And currently find ourselves down in the range low area once again. And we have been coming down in sort of a steps by level. And currently we are between the 29,800 and the 30,000. So we're in a very, very tight range in the last 12 hours. But more importantly, we are at a massive decision time, in the sense that if we take the 200 moving average on the 4 hour, which is this white line here, you can see that white line, which is the 200 moving average on the 4 hours, acting as support, and the 30 is at resistance. So 4 hour 200 is currently at 29,900, and we've got 30,000 resistance at the top. Now, why is this line very important? So if we just go back and just have a look at a bit of history, and I'm going back to the latest drop below that 4 hour, that was in the beginning of May, where we dropped below, it tried to push up, it acted as resistance, and it dropped immediately, and it carried on dropping down. And we tested it once, twice, 3 times in the early June, and we managed to cross it once again on the 19th of June, and we've held it ever since. Now it's really decision time once again. Remember, we can have spikes down below that level. As long as we don't start closing 4 hour candles below this, we're still good. So yeah, it's really very, we're at a touch and go right now, if I can put it to you that way.
Mm.
I don't know if you want to add
And
anything.
it always, yeah, it always kind of feels that way. You know, when we come to these range lows, we always get that feeling, you know, and then sometimes it wants to come lower again and test that level. And it's always a little bit uncomfortable until we get that nice push up. Look, and the positive for me is I think BTC broke that trend, Jay. So, you know, let it pull back now. Maybe we get this retest on this trend. And then hopefully we kick on up. But that will work against your link short. I'm so excited to hear this. We literally got 2 opposing trades here. This is great.
So if we have a look at Bitcoin on the daily, we've still got this, and I've gone to a clean chart now too. We've still got this trend line that's coming from the beginning of the year, this white trend line. And you see we touched in March, we touched in June again. That would obviously be acting as support. But in a bull market, and when I talk about a bull market, when we are above the 200 moving average on the daily and the weekly, that is deemed as a bull market. Now, if we go to the 200 moving average just on the, and I'm going to change the inputs here to the daily just to see where we are at currently. So on the daily, we at 25,900, and on the weekly, we are sitting at just a little bit higher, 27. So we're above those 2 areas. So we're still deemed as being very bullish until we break below those 200 moving average levels of daily and weekly. So when we retrace, we normally go to the 382, and the 382 currently is sitting at 29,200. So for me, that is an important level where we could retrace to. If we break through there, then the 0.5 is on this trend line down at sort of 28,400. But I would imagine that we possibly come down to this level if we do break through this level here, this orange line, which is acting as currently as support, which was resistance previously, plus the 200 moving average on the 4 hours also that support currently in that area there. Okay, let's have a look at Ethereum Bitcoin. That is still obviously moving up. We're at this resistance here at 0.064. So how they work it out is we take the Ethereum price over the Bitcoin price and we get to that ratio. And we're currently at resistance. So we would like to see a break through this resistance, and that would obviously be bullish for Ethereum over Bitcoin. It's also an indication that obviously more cash is leaving Bitcoin and going into the alts, especially the major alts. Ethereum still in that support area of 1900 up to sort of 1950, and still seems to be holding very strong. If we do lose this level, the next support below is at sort of 1850. And then to the upside, we got this round number of 2000, and above that is 2100. Okay, so we go to look at the total. And let me switch off this. So total is currently on the 1.16 trillion support. I'm seeing some wicks both to the downside and to the upside. It's really telling me indecision at the moment. But if we lose this level, then the next support is at sort of 1.135 trillion. And then we got this resistance area at 1.17 to 1.2. Now the dominance has dropped slightly below the 50%. And we want to see this level now become resistance and starting to trend lower, that will obviously indicate more cash leaving Bitcoin and going to the altcoins. So it's quite interesting where that is now. And remember that the support is around about 48%, where the 1 week, the 100 moving average on the daily, it's at 49%. The 100 moving average on the daily sitting at 49%. And the reason why that is going to be some major support is because it's been support since January this year, and touched in March, came close to it in June. And obviously when you come down here, we've got both the 49 and this 100 moving average on the daily acting as support in this area. But yeah, this sort of drop will be very bullish for the altcoins if we start dropping lower here.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it looks like it could quite easily give us this 49 level there. Yeah, I mean, if we get good results from Tesla and Netflix, say today, I mean, that might also help things.
But what I'm not
it might just help with bullish sentiment.
Yeah, Dill, but the stock market, I mean, is like, appears to me to be proper bullish. I mean, we gapped up again today. Yesterday was a very strong move up. I mean, the stock market's looking great.
I tried to short it the other day and I actually got stopped. There's no, it's like just, I
know you like your daily, but if you look at it on 1 hour or less, it's really bullish, eh?
Yeah, so that's I think what's helped that the stock market is obviously the Dixie dropping below key support of 101. And if we go and look here, we have got a current low here. The last time we were in this area was in April last year. So we have found the next support area, and I would imagine that we're going to go up now and retest the 101 level. That hopefully what was acting as support previously is now going to be resistance. And we're going to see possible more downside from there.
That's quite interesting. I mean, this Dixie's pushing up on the daily and the stock market's still pushing up. I'm finding that quite interesting. Normally they'd work against one another.
Yeah.
Stock market is 5% from all-time highs. So, anyone that thinks that's not a bull market, I don't know what to say. It's been on an absolute tear since October.
Yeah.
I was chatting to Luke earlier, Dill, and he was saying it's like the stock market is like playing chicken with the Fed. Like they're just doubting their decision that they're not going to drop the rates, and then at some point, like, it's either they're going to be right, or there's going to be one hell of a drop,
Yeah. Okay, and, Jay, talk to us. Tell us why you're shorting Link.
No, I've just landed in a small position. It's a bit of a touch of my chance. So we're at resistance at the moment. At
on what time frame? Okay.
We got this. So if we go to, let me just pull this across here. And my other indicator called it a short. So so that orange line at 685 levels is a bit of a resistance area. As I say, I've just got a small position in there, and we have got this trend line that is coming down too. So I am watching it very closely. If we do see more of a rejection in this area up here at around about 690, 692, start coming down, I'll obviously let in more. And a break below sort of 680, I would load in more from there. It's really just a small scalp. The support area would be around about 650 here. So it's a bit of a scalp trade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing
Yeah.
some interesting setups, long and short at the moment.
Yeah.
Short wise, XRP looked interesting on the 1 hour to be short. ETH actually lost a trend for me, which looked sort of shortable. Litecoin pumped into a resistance area, which looked shortish. And then like things like Link and Render and stuff like that, like there's a whole sort of bucket of these alts that are sitting on key supports.
Yeah.
So on major support. So I mean, I just looked at Link now when I was updating the Discord. It was sitting on the 200-day. It was sitting on a 618. So I went long Link, and I went long Render. Similar story. So I'll show you guys my chart.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
again, like yeah.
Talking about XRP, obviously Verge follows XRP quite closely, and I was watching Verge earlier for a SR flip, a support resistance flip of 6250, but it got rejected once again.
I've never heard of this thing. What is this? What is Verge?
Verge.
Yeah.
So it runs with XRP.
Oh, okay, well there, it's like a double top. It looks the same as XRP.
And you can see it's rejecting quite badly, so it's starting to trend down here.
Yeah. Okay, it's a good one.
So,
guys, I mean, this is a key. Sorry to interrupt, Jay, but yeah, this is just a key. I mean, a key lesson here is I'm going to show you my TA and my reasoning behind why I went long with Link. Jay's just showed you his. At the end of the day, we just formulated an opinion for ourselves, to help us take a position. So Jay was feeling bearish on Link, and he gave his TA gave him the answer that he was looking for, and he went short on Link. And there's no right or wrong, one of us is going to make money, the other one's probably going to get stopped up. So and that's just trading.
So it's gone up with XRP, and I think XRP, if I can remember right, when was it? About 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So you can see how it's gone up though over the last 3 weeks, 500%. So it's just very bullish. But it needs to break through this key level here of 6250 at the moment, which it's rejecting at the moment.
That really is an old coin, AJ.
It is.
My head
Dinosaur coin.
I've literally never heard of that thing.
Going back to 2017, I'm scratching my head. I remember it was big at the time.
Yeah.
Last one the past, eh?
If we go to, in Binance, I think goes back to the middle of 2017. Let's just have a look at, see where we're coming from. It was only listed on 2021 on Binance. Anyway. Okay, let's just have a look at Bitcoin once again for and I'm just going to put on that we do not want to start having 4-hour candles below this 200 moving average. This has to hold as support for us.
Yeah, Rudolph's saying the Verge was privacy coin. That's right. I came back to him. I'm sure it was privacy,
Yeah. Fixed up.
What MA is this, Jay? What MA was that BTC was sitting on?
It's the 200 moving average on the 4-hour.
Okay.
And it's important because as soon as we start breaking below that and closing candles on the 4-hour below that, it can lead to further downside. And the example is in May where we broke below that. Where was it? Yeah. Sort of in the first week of May, we started breaking below.
So definitely a big area here.
Yeah, just need to keep an eye on this one.
I see someone gave us a quick tip there. Who was it? I've never tried it. They say keep Someone said to keep seeing us using the measuring tool, just use the shift key and click anywhere on the chart and then drag and it'll measure straight away. You don't have to go and select the tool. So have you tried that?
The shift key.
Yeah, shift key and just drag on the chart.
Oh, right. Very clever.
yeah.
You learn something new every day, guys. Thanks for that.
How's that? Yeah, excellent.
That's very
a nice
cool.
little, definite little hack for sure.
Jeez, I'm going to do that all the
Thank
time.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
That was from Todd.
Jay, thanks for that.
Loxley, thank you,
Thanks
buddy.
for that.
Yeah.
Check, I'm doing this as we speak. I'm pushing shift and measuring stuff. This is
Yeah,
very cool.
So,
I mean, I'm pretty good on TradingView, but geez, thanks. That's a great
there's
tip.
always something to learn, eh?
100%.
Every day's a school day, you're right, Danny.
That's so
Also, I
good.
was going to ask, because maybe one of the community knows, we were chatting just before we went live with these new, I don't even know what you call them, trading bot coins, I suppose, where, yeah, like Unibot and etc. Is there a category for these things? How do we find out what they all are so we can start tracking them? Because there's clearly a lot of momentum happening, and I you know, I don't even know what to see, what's new, what's coming up, what, you know.
Yeah, I had a list the other day, and I'll try and dig up how I got it. But yeah, Unibot is the front runner, guys. So now, obviously, everyone's looking for the next Unibot. So there's a couple of tokens out there, and then
But
if
I mean,
you guys
from
ever
principle,
watch,
you've got to own the token to allow you to access the bot or something. I would assume that's the principle, eh?
yeah, I'm not sure. I just I bought
You just
a
traded.
bot token. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. It might be a rug, who knows? I'm not even going to give you the name, guys, because it literally could be a rug. Yeah, I just grabbed it off the list. But yeah, do your own research, look for these bot things. Rollbit was another one, a gambling site that really has pumped. So there's another narrative out there with these sort of gambling type tokens.
Yeah.
So all these coins seem to be moving. You can see my screen, right? Theta.
Yeah, got you.
You've got this in front of me. Yeah, so guys, just typical, bounces off good areas we've witnessed so far, some of them better than others. Theta came out nicely out of this box. Nothing to report yet. If you got the long out of the box, you good. I wouldn't long it here. It sort of moved on a little bit much. This is the 12-hour chart. So yeah, let things play out. Let's watch BTC for Theta. We might get another look. If there's more downside on BTC, we might get another look here, test this wick, and then maybe the push up then. So yeah, Theta, nothing to report unless you got this long yesterday. Render, David and I are both long on Render, and just coincidentally we are. He texted me about 40 minutes ago. 786 horizontal, it just made sense to me. BTC's broken that little trend. So yeah, it was an easy one with a very tight stop. So if you want to be long Render, we're looking at about 1.2%. If you want to let it breathe some more, maybe 1.5% is your risk. The upside for me was too big to ignore. I'm keen on this move, 7%. So yeah, I've taken a long on Render exactly here where it is. So yeah, if you're interested, that's where we are there. Link, let me show you Link. Link was just a pure 200-day MA and 618 play. It hit the 618 while I was doing the Discord, and I just opened a long immediately. So that's where I am with Link. It might be a bit too far gone now. It's already 2% gone. So ideally you want to get it deep, and then you get a nice tight stop under that 200-day. But again, it's got work to do. It's just because you're seeing a green candle here doesn't mean now it's going to run to the top. It's got work to do. You saw Jay's resistance zone. So yeah, you got to let it play out. But again, it just made sense to me. It was in one of my areas, so I went with it. If it does play out, I'm out here, 7.2. That sort of region.
You don't think that when you get up to that double top area now, or that triple top, it might actually finally go through? You know, it's you normally get
Yeah,
a
it's just
big pullback.
there's been so many occasions where, like, you get up there and you think this time is different, and how many times isn't it? And then you think, shit, I could have just taken that and I could have re-entered later. So, look, the discipline play to be would you take something off the table if you
Yeah.
have confidence that it's going to pop, leave something in it, because
Yeah.
you might get this rejection, but then we get that break, and then that's the big move that we want.
Yeah.
But for now, just for me, it's step by step. I'm going to go up to here. Let's see what happens. If not, we stopped out under there, and all is well.
You better show this Tomo trade because I see Mike, everyone, the people on the Tomo, so we bring them up to speed.
Bruce is the Tomo king here. We talk Tomo every session, so Tomo's coming definitely. Guys, here's a Doge update.
Doge, oh, sure.
Oh, Casper, yeah, we've got Casper. So Doge, guys, had bounced in the box where we wanted it to. Let's see how it plays out. We've got a 618 here now acting as support. So, at least we got a little move up. 4%, not bad so far. But yeah, let it play out. Let's see how that goes. This is 8 hour, guys. ADA, perfect.
Jason is saying he got stopped out of his link. So he had to run, but
when?
He wrote it to me. So there we go.
Okay. Okay, but you see, they're playing games. This thing must push. It must push properly now. Okay, let's see. ADA was just a perfect horizontal retest. Look at that. So we watched it come down for a couple of days. We identified this zone and, perfect bounce. Just patience, guys. You just have to wait. 7% to the top yesterday. That might have been one of the better performers, actually. ADA. I didn't take it. I did Sol. Let's see how much we got out of Sol here. So Sol was great because it was a perfect example of the power of these fibs. And I wasn't going to exit until we lost this 382 fib. Okay. And here it is. I mean, look how it bounced off this 382. Let me clean this up. I'll take this box away. In this trend. I mean, look at that. It's like absolute perfection, guys. Like you can never fight the power of these fibs. We use levels and fibs together. This was a big area, this guy. Okay. Look how we dipped below it. And we had that fib just sitting underneath, waiting.
Like crazy.
And it's pinged it exactly.
It's like it's mad, TA, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's like there's obviously people that doubt TA and whatever, but at the end of the day, you look at stuff like this and you see what we rely on. And like, if I didn't know anything about fibs, I would have exited this position when it started losing this level. But I pulled my fib and I backed that 382 and I backed that 618. And I just hung in there, pinged it, and it reversed. Sometimes you obviously have to sweat these things. But it came down and just let it do its thing. So that was a good result. 7% move, same as ADA.
One of the most undervalued tokens out there. I still wonder. I mean, it's got so beaten last year.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of legs. And you see the research guys, they keep talking about it now. There's things springing up on Sol. There's projects getting revitalized on it. Like there's a lot happening, guys. So, longer term play, I think it's a solid one. So Sol 382 support. That's where we are for now. XRP, this was the 1 hour. So yesterday we caught this break. Just a little break, retest and run. That was a nice little move. 10% move, XRP, that was cool. Now we got this double top situation. So if you are still long, maybe just take something off the table here on XRP, because you never know what's going to happen now. We could quite easily retrace here. So just keep your eyes on this. This was our preferred target, the 618. We might still get there, but good time to sort of de-risk a little bit here. Fetch. This is Fetch 12 hour. Just clean that. Okay, so it's still in a bounce zone. It's still in a bullish zone. Okay, we're still in trend. There's still nothing to from this perspective on a 12-hour, there's no reason to be entering shorts and things like that yet. So, let it play out. This is still a solid zone. Like I was explaining yesterday, if we lose this trend and we push back up, we might have an issue here. Then we can look for shorts coming down. But for now, we're playing this as a support zone, trend support, 618, horizontal. So nothing to panic about here yet. They could still come and make you visit this little wick here at 221. So, but yeah, right now, just keep an eye on this area as support. Okay, phantoms, yeah. I mean, Craig might be able to tell us more about what's going on with phantom, but fundamentally, there's issues there. There's big problems, and you can see in the chart, it's different to AVAX, it's different to ADA, it's different to a lot of these guys. The way this chart's sort of set up, and again, losing support here. So we lost the trend, we pushed back into trend, like we saw on Fetch, for example. Lost the trend, pushed back. Okay, now it's coming down. So for me, if we lose this area, bounce zone 237 on phantom. But yeah, I'm not touching phantom either way at the moment. It's one of these
I don't know what
projects
the news was obviously while I was away, but it's always been so dependent on Andre Cronje. He's absolutely loved this project, and he just has to make one tweet and he's like Elon Musk with Doge, it'll send it to the moon. But
that's exactly why I'm not short or long, because if that guy tweets, you're going to get wrecked. So I don't want to be short FDM, but I also don't want to be long because it sounds like there's big issues. So just let it sit for now, guys. That's my opinion. Unless you have high conviction.
That's right. That's something to do with the multi-chain hack. But yeah, they've also been pulled through the ringer, that poor token.
Yeah. So look, it might come back. This thing hit $3 at some point, I think, in 2021.
I don't remember that. I mean, Fred nailed that thing to the absolute high. I think the day before that it dropped, Fred, I mean, and he doesn't, Fred doesn't trade much, and he nailed that thing at $3 perfectly.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was insane. I mean, and he caught this like double top suck perfect on the weekly. I mean, we were still trying to long it. We were down here somewhere. We were still trying to pick up longs. We thought it was going to $10 or something.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, yeah. So FDM, I'm sort of sitting out of for now. I used to obviously love trading it, but just not sure now what the play is there. Pepe, just playing this range. Literally, I don't have too much conviction either way. It was just a good content discussion that it's sitting in a range. If BTC pushes up, it will push up. If BTC shows weakness, it's probably going to lose this range. So right now, it's playing out so far, but no fireworks. I mean, there's no 6% off that low. No fireworks yet. I don't see much community out there pumping it and things like that these days. But yeah, just topical range. That's how I was viewing it. Arve, again, this was part of the Celsius stuff. Arve, and I think there was a lot of selling. There was a fair amount, but a critical area. This is it now. It's hanging on this 200-day and 382. The odds are stacking up here for a short rather than a long. Last ditch long attempt potentially, but this is a support zone. But as you can see, this drawing, if we lose this area and we bounce back, this is now 71 becomes proper resistance. Okay, so there'll have to be big changes in the market. BTC will have to be like super bullish to break through that. If BTC does turn bullish, we could have that scenario. Okay, there's the right shoulder. That is possible. But one step at a time. If you're looking for shorts, let it drop down, let it push back up into resistance. So 71 to 72. And then maybe you'll get some downside there to 60, 61. Okay, render, pushing. What's the market doing here? Yeah, the market looks a bit red. Okay, so OP, again, this is the same story. It keeps pumping back into this resistance zone, but we're not getting the follow through. We wanted to, I'm going to draw this for you again so you can see what I'm talking about. They keep selling it here. Every time it gets up, they just keep selling. So we want to see this thing push up. We want to see this candle close and hold the support. Then you get your long. Otherwise, your long was yesterday on this pullback that we got here. It's funny, like I would have identified this region yesterday and it kind of stopped with these candles. Let's see what we've got there. Yeah, it's kind of like no man's land, actually. But clearly a support zone. I mean, we've got these candles here. So yeah, for optimism, right now it looks more shorty than anything. You want to see it break up and establish this area. Until that happens, there's no trade there. Vet, I've just got a little trend. You can see like there's like organized selling here. Look how perfect this is, Craig. Just selling drips slowly down. Just a trend. Track this trend. You can play it very easily. If you get a move down here, you can look for a long. Otherwise, look for the break. Something along those lines. This is 8 hour. Dot, again, just hanging on to support. There's no short here yet, unless you're looking at 15 minutes or whatever, and there's a setup within that. But from a 12-hour candle perspective, we're sitting on support. So, I'm treating this as support for now. Let's see what happens. If we lose the support, we push back up. This becomes our resistance area, 382.
You know what, Phil, I was always I'm going back a couple of years, such a bull on DOT for the long term, and then, I really was so super bullish on this, on DOT. And then, when I read that news last week that they're stopping the parachain auctions and that, I was like, what's left with this,
It's falling over, basically.
Like, what? Like, why? Why would you worry about it? In my mind,
it trades
like,
really
why?
badly. There's never exciting moves.
And you know what? Once again, everyone got duped into freaking locking up their DOT for 2 years on those parachain auctions. That staking model for me is something that I've just learned to personally.
When do these tokens get unlocked?
No, this was a year before last when they started the parachain auctions. You had to stake your DOT for 2 years. So
okay, so are there still a lot of tokens to be unlocked? Because that will unleash fury on DOT.
I just feel so sorry for those poor guys that locked the bloody shit up,
Well, they obviously also bought it at a hell of a price, eh?
Yeah.
DOT 50.
Yeah. So
50.
No,
so guys,
we never got IDO tokens, but no. But I think when you locked up your DOT, you get the other token, yes, for free. But you know what? People just get duped into the stuff. You get, okay, so I've got 2 coins now, but they're both worth nothing, and you feel like you've got a deal. No, you've been royally screwed.
I'm just looking at these stochastics, and so the daily's nearly at the bottom. 12-hour is at the bottom. 8 hours at the bottom.
Idiot, yeah.
Was
Kevin, I like that.
So look, DOT's not very exciting from a trading perspective. I don't find it, that much fun.
Could be interesting short if it drops that level, eh?
Yeah, obviously there's no. For me, it's support, Craig. So let it lose that. If it pushes up, there's your resistance, and we'll do what Chris likes to do. He loves that. And you can see why it looks shorty. Okay.
Yeah.
So let it break, let it retest, then enter your short and send it down.
100%.
Okay, DYDX sitting on support. Let's see how this goes. Next area,
Just Jules, why are you
clear.
going there? This just picking up on this comment immediately from Rani Rai. How do you guys trade so many coins? No. We don't trade so many coins, and you mustn't either. We're just showing you setups so that you can decide which ones you like, guys. No. I mean, I don't know how many trades you in at any point in time, Jill. Max?
No, so I'm in 2 right now. But yeah, I go through all of these coins every day, guys. I work on these charts. Obviously, there's setups on all of them. I can't trade them all. It would be reckless. Yeah, it's not a smart idea, you know, because if things turn south and you're in 15 positions or something, you're going to get hurt. So, you know, stick to the high conviction setups, maybe the coins you've researched the most, maybe you have a fundamental reason to, you know, want to long on a certain area, that sort of stuff. So yeah, this is just literally, you know, I chart these every day for you guys, and for myself, obviously, and for the sniper team. So yeah, I just identify areas, zones, and things like that. So yeah, DYDX, it's on support. Bearish vibes, double top here. Okay, but here, this is support for now. If not, there's possibly a long here at 1.92. Otherwise, yeah, we play that same game as Dot. You got to just watch Bitcoin here, see what happens. We'll have to, let's see. Yeah, it's still testing this trend. Let's see.
You know, we keep saying every now and again some of these moving averages hold, and we were always talking about 200-day, 200-week. For Bitcoin at the moment, for me, it's the 200 on the 4-hour is the one that's just seems to be the line. I don't know why these lines
look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that science again. Just, yeah, guys. So you'll see. So 200, Craig? 200?
On the 204-hour, yeah. You'll notice how over the recent past now, this line.
Yeah, there you go.
So keep an eye on that line. It needs to hold this line, you know.
Okay, so I'm putting that back to the daily because I don't want to confuse myself. Yeah, so guys, I mean, there's a million ways to look for reaction zones. I just like pulling fibs, like you saw it, reacting on the MA that Craig and Jay were talking about. Here's a 618. Just pull the 618 on 4-hour, and there it is reacting. So, and again, it doesn't mean, you know, that's it. Now it's going to prop up the market for the rest of the day. It just means we're going to potentially react there. And you can see we're getting a reaction. Yeah, if things stay positive, we should move up. But if not, we lose the 618, we're testing the 786, which is going to be there. Maybe another look at this wick, and then we're going to be sweating. Might get stopped on render and link. And then we see what happens after that. We've got the BTC 382 down here. 29,150 region. That's a big area.
Yeah.
So if we zoom out just for information purposes, this is the weekly. Okay. Let's pull the fib. You saw how strong or how well Solana acted on that 382. Here's the BTC 382 on the weekly. So it's quite a serious area. So if we lose that, you know, I'd expect something to happen here, 29,100-ish. But yeah, level by level, let's see what happens.
Have you got Casper there? I see old Craig Frankie's.
Yeah, Casper's hit resistance.
I mean,
it's been great.
This has been what a beast. Wow.
So big area now, guys. Resistance zone. This is the daily.
But take this out. Can you imagine where this thing can go?
Yeah. So, you know, we just need to push through the zone. I mean, I don't know. Fundamentally, Craig, I'm assuming you know a bit more about this than I do.
You know what?
But
I just thought like Rand would say no, it's all bullshit. And then you get guys like Kiwi that are just, or these are guys, both guys in our research group that are just so bullish, you know.
Is this a layer one? What is the story behind this thing?
Yeah, layer one, yeah.
Okay, 786 rejection. So yeah, guys, right now it's at resistance on the daily. So, you know, we didn't get the full pullback we were expecting yesterday. We got a small pullback. We didn't hit the 382, unfortunately. But, you know, if you were tracking the trend, maybe you're trading it regularly, you were tracking the trend, you would have at least got that break. But now this is resistance. So, you know, let it play out. Let's see how far it comes back. Maybe you want to pull a fib from the low to the high, see where the 618 is, 382, see where supports are. Let me just show you how I would do that. Okay, so let's go to 1 hour. Okay, so if I want to look for a retracement now, let's say we've broken this trend and we've kicked on, I'll go from low to high. So this low here to the high. Okay. And then I just look for areas of interest, preferably ones that tie in with the horizontal as well. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, this one, but there's your 382. And the 618, yeah. And you'll see, I don't trade Casper, but different alts react better on different fibs. So, some of them you might get good responses on a 786. Others, they love a 382 or the 618. So play around with it. If you trade it a lot, you'll figure out quickly which one it prefers. And then work from there. And then, lower time frame, if you zoom in, this is 1 hour. If you zoom in, there's a trend here forming that you can watch. So if you look for that break, maybe we're going to test this resistance zone. So just, you can play it like that. If you open up the 15 minutes, track the trend, might be a scalp for you. Injective, this is the 8 hour. Quite boring lately, nothing really happening. Just tracking a trend, tracking support, no action for now. I mean, you can see this has been going on since the 14th. So 5 days of no action, really, just up, down. Look for a bounce here, 618 again, 8.65, that sort of region. Otherwise, just track the trend for a break if you want to be long. Okay, the shorts on this time frame, the shorts need to wait till we lose this trend and we push up. You can see what I've drawn here. Unless, I mean, you can scalp shorts, zoom in 15 minutes, 1 hour, push up to resistance, the normal setup, on a smaller time frame. But just from what I'm looking at on this time frame, I want to lose that trend. I want to push back up into that resistance, and then we get shorted from there. And this was ETH. So this is what I was saying, to me, ETH potentially a bit bearish. We've lost this trend. We've now retested. So, there's a potential short there on ETH. If ETH comes down, I would expect the rest of the alts to also be under a bit of pressure. So, yeah, that's an area of interest. And if we invert this, okay, so, if we wanted to be long on this chart, we'd say this is support.
Yeah.
This area, and then we'd say our target is this area there, and that looks perfectly reasonable. Okay, so break, retest. So, from a long perspective, it makes sense. Let's turn it back around, and there's your short perspective. Okay, so the same type of setup, and this looks like quite a reasonable area. 1830 looks like we could get a nice bounce there, little scalp down. So that doesn't look bad. And okay, this is the S&P, so I'm stopped now. I shorted this thing at the 786. I thought I was quite smart, and I wasn't. Stopped out. So no trade there for me.
So bullish.
Yeah, it's lovely though. It's nice. We shouldn't try and fight it. We should embrace it. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought I must now short the entire stock market. It just looked like a good area. But now, it looks like let's get support here. Let's see what happens. But this is the shorts are going to be piling up here. That's for sure. This all-time high. There's probably going to be a record number of shorts sitting out there. So who knows? Once that happens, we get these squeezes, and then things could be very interesting. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's everything in front of me. I'm sure you guys want to hear about Bruce's latest Tomo trade, which he is long. I'm assuming he's still long
Yep.
and strong.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
what
long
is
and
counter
who knows
Bitcoin?
what's
Bitcoin
happening.
seems to be a bit weak, so Tomo's got to be going. Eh?
Exactly. Goes opposite. Let's see.
Bruce, show us. Show us where we are on Tomo.
Sure. We're figuring it out. So basically, let's go higher time frame to get a bigger picture. So basically, Tomo came going down, ranged for a little bit over here, and then has been stuck right below this level over here. Let me go 1 hour, it'll be easier to see. Stuck at this level here after coming out of this range that it was in since Sunday the 9th. So I've been trading this range, though it's been kind of small. It's been interesting. I got this, let me zoom in on a little bit. Yesterday, I got this entrance yesterday, was starting to trend up. Caught this entrance for just shy 6% yesterday. And then it broke through this level, and this is what I'm looking at right now. It broke through this level, came back and retested, and now it's kind of coming to a wedge over there. It seems to be respecting this trend line, but I'm pretty skeptical about it right now. So I took an entrance right over here with a really tight stop. So, I mean, it looks like it's actually going to get stopped out right now. But somewhere in here, what I'm looking for is a kind of a two-step trade. Step one is to get from is to find an entrance that gets me above these highs right there, little peaks, which it didn't before, which means it's kind of being pretty weak following this trend down. But once it breaks these highs, then I want to follow the trade up to this level. And at this level, I'm going to make a decision. If it breaks through it and retests it, then what I'm really looking for is another trade. If it gets weak right around this level over here and looks like it's not going to break through, I'll just take my profit and then be patient for another entrance. But what I'm really trying to get right now is an entrance that does this. Come back to the 1 hour, because the real trade I'm looking for is that back up in the range. That's a 29% range with basically nothing to interfere with it. If you look to the left side over here, once it breaks this level, that's all liquidity right here. Whoops, come back. That's all right over here is almost all liquidity. So I expect that once it breaks through here, it'll be a pretty straight shot up. So most of the work I'm doing right now is just trying to get that entrance that I can hold for that 30%. So right now I'm just playing games with it. I'm in. I have no idea what it's going to do at this point. Let me come back up a little bit. Okay. Stop. Come on. Stop drawing lines. There we go. So if it holds this trend line and stays above it, which it's just been tickling all the time, then I'll stay in the trade. If it breaks down and holds and closes below that trend line, I just get out and then wait for a better entrance again. And that's it for now. Kind of, we'll see over the next couple minutes or hour or two.
Yeah, I like that. I like that 30% move to the top, though. That'll be fun.
Yeah. And again, it's got to break this horizontal level before it's even going to get a shot at it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tomo do this for a little bit first, just range in there. So really, the break and retest of that is the entrance that I'm most excited about. This is just a cheeky entrance to catch that.
And is it safe to say that most of the time Tomo does the opposite of BTC, or is it only some of the time?
No, I don't think it's safe to say. I think Tomo doesn't listen to BTC. Sometimes it'll go with it. Sometimes it just has a mind of its own. For a while, I was trading going like, okay, if BTC is bullish, Tomo will be bearish, and vice versa. but that hasn't consistently borne out. It just does its own thing. I haven't found rhyme or reason to it, so I just ignore everything else, and I use basically track trends, break of trends. It's really simple, kind of a scalping strategy. As a matter of fact, the way I trade it is I enter on a scalp, and then if it shows any sustenance, I'll upgrade it from the 5 minute to the 15 minute. If it looks like it's going to be strong, I'll simply shift my perspective to the 1 hour, and if it breaks above here, I'll shift it to the 4 hour. But I always enter it on kind of with the scalp in mind. Like right now, if I get a percent or two out of it, and it looks like it's not going to do anything, I'll take my money and run and wait for another day.
Yeah, it seems to be holding there for now as well, huh? Looking good.
Yeah, I mean you can't even see the damn candles, right? It's grass growing, but Tomo has a habit of grass growing and then
There it goes. There it
actually
goes. There
take a
it
look at the
goes.
candle. Now there it goes. Now we're talking about it. Now we're
Am
actually
I
on the
long?
candle.
Wait, I want a long Tomo again with you. I love this. Oh,
Yeah.
going
So
long Tomo.
again, I've got a purple, what I call a risk line right there. At come over at 1, 2. Hold on, this is the one at 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. If it doesn't break that, then I should say when it breaks that, I'm going to move my stop to break even. But if it doesn't break that, I'm just going to keep an eye on it and make sure it stays.
So
above
what's the stop amount? I can't see it that clearly. Is it 1.22?
Oh no,
What is the stop?
0.53 where I entered.
What's the stop loss? I'm putting in a stop here on mine.
I have a 0.53 at 1.2152. That's the way I trade. I trade with tight stops. I get stopped out, get an entrance.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I'm trying that.
Okay, well, good luck to us.
Cool, thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
Okay, cool. Let's have an update here. Let's see what the market's doing. Craig, are you looking at anything specifics? Are you looking for a trade? Is Craig still here? Oh, he might have jumped off. Okay.
I don't see him.
Okay, let's pull out a couple more charts, guys. Let's look at some of yours from the crowd. Let's share my screen now. Okay, Aptos, yeah, that's a good one. It's been pretty boring lately, I think. Yeah, let's pull out Aptos. AVAC's been flat. Ape, there's a couple of questions for Ape. Okay, cool. Let's take a look.
You brought good luck to Tomo, by the way. Finally, you
Is it
entered,
moving?
and I guess you're such a big whale that it pushed the
I
candle.
think we all moved the market again. Same thing
That's funny.
last time. Okay, that's hilarious.
Because since we started the show, I entered right before. I'm going like, oh my God, what are we doing? And then you just brought us good luck. I love it.
Well, maybe we moving the market, guys.
It's small enough that could be true, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, Aptos, it's been very boring, just like a lot of these coins while we wait for something to happen. This is the 12-hour, tracking this trend up. Nothing to report. Support in place, 7.25. And it's hurry up and wait. Would be longs for me from down here, 7.25. There's no long sort of in the middle for me for the way I look at things now. And then alternatively, you wait for the break up. So alternatively, you want to see it sort of squeeze up, and then you can get that push up. And then we use that as support, these two regions here. So yeah, Apto has been very, very quiet. Nothing too exciting there. And let's look at Ape. Okay, let's go Ape. 4 hours. Might give us a picture. I think we were looking at this the other day. We had this little double bottom here. Little setup. we've obviously had a couple of trades of this thing. You know, we had this guy 20%. We had this guy 6%. It's not making me like turbo excited though. 786 bounce. 786 bounce. Okay, remember guys, I was saying some of them like different fibs. Remember, this is actually the one I was trying to remember. 786. Okay, and we had that double bottom on the 786. That's why it was so interesting. Okay, so now we've got a trend that we can watch. And I think the safest way to play this is 8 hour. Just track this trend now. Let's see if it holds the 618 as support. Let's see what happens here. Might get something along those lines. Otherwise, just let it drift down. You might get something over here. And then these wicks down here. So yeah, for now, there's no trade. Just let it play out. AVAX. So AVAX was also part of the Celsius tokens. So it didn't bounce as nicely as like ADA and Solana and that sort of stuff. I think there's been selling pressure on it. But again, sitting on support. And there's nothing we can do here. It's long or it's no trade on support. So if you're unsure, no trade. Just wait. Let it play out. You know, it's still got a couple of days before it gets to this trend. Let's see what happens. Short scenario is loss of support, push back up, and then we look lower. And this is the obvious region here. There would be some great longs from down here if we get that. And it might mean BTC goes to that 382 fib a little bit lower because that's a 10-11% move. So BTC goes 29,150. This is something I'd probably be eyeing. Maybe even lower. But again, you'll have to see as it's happening. While it's happening, you'll have to see where we can tie these in. How's our Tomo trade, Bruce?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
Oh, good. Okay.
Hasn't broke out of the wedge yet, and it hasn't hit my risk line, but at least you got a nice healthy candle. So
AGLD, geez, I made money out of this thing. This thing really traded nicely. Look how it respected these fibs here. This is the daily. Look at this. 618, 382. Geez, this was beautiful. Okay, now it's gone. This is an NFT or a gaming token. I think there's something behind this link to NFTs or the game. So, you know, I don't know too much about it. Let's look for a reaction zone. This is the weekly. So the first thing I'm doing is looking for resistance and support on a weekly level. I want to see a few touches here. There's 2, it's not great. 3. Okay, so this is an area to watch right now. Okay, it's not like a turbo strong area, but it's an area. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's look at where these fibs are tying in. Okay, so that's resistance. Zoom in daily. Okay, so it might be trying to reclaim this area. Now I'm going to just pull a fib from this low here. So I want to look at this move, this particular move. I want to see where the pullback region is. Okay, so here's a 382. So that would be an interesting bounce area for me. Let me take this out the way. Okay, so I'm going to leave this 382 resistance area here in that circle. Then this is the 382 support that I would watch. Oh, and this is nice. Okay, this is very nice. There, 618. Okay, so those are two sort of pullback areas I'd watch if this is now going to continue to be bullish. So, you know, let's look for that, or let's look for that. See if we've got a trend we can watch as well. Okay, so AGLD, if you missed your entry and you're looking for a new one, 0.830-ish, somewhere around there. And then 0.73 to 0.74. Probably not a bad shot if you want to have a go there. Matic, Donnie, is Matic killing you? Let's see. 200-week MA coming from Matic, if I remember correctly. Here's the 200-week. Okay, so lost the key support. Okay, so we saw ADA bounce well off support, Theta bounce well off support, Sol very well off support, AVAX, Matic, not so much. Matic's lost it. 200-week MA, big area, and trend. So just be patient. 0.71, look for something there. If we lose this trend, we eyeing 0.65, and then for me, that means BTC is well on its way down. So let's see. So for now, nothing to stress about. Let it hit this 200-week first. Let's see what happens there. Brahm, render is moving south. Well, that is not good because then I'm going to be stopped out. Let's look at render. It's not so bad. Not so bad. Not so bad. Not so bad. Okay, so if you are long render, and I'll do the same. Wait for that candle to close, but this is my sort of my yardstick here, 1.83. If we go lower than that, yeah, then it's over. But you can see it's trying to fight back. Like this makes sense, you know, you get this wick, and they push it, then they send it back. They come and test the wick, and then sometimes you get the little move down. Okay, that does happen. So let's see how it plays out. But yeah, now we know we've got a marker for the low, and we lose that, I'm 100% out. Kuji, Ryan, yeah, Kuji. I've never really looked at that. Let's take a look. Can you trade Kuji anyway? I don't know what platforms you can trade it on. Richard says he loves the calmness this session continually brings me. Yeah, good. You know what? I wish I had this session to plug into like 3-4 years ago when I was feeling stressed or the market was turning red or I wasn't sure. I wish I had a place to go to like log in and just somebody telling me like, these are levels, this is what we're looking at. Like, yeah, it's great, guys. I hope you're getting good, good use out of all this stuff.
Yeah. I got to tell you, from the student's perspective in Discord, this is priceless. As everybody
awesome, yeah,
loves this.
Yeah, guys. I mean, we've all been there. We all started trading at some point. You know, we've all felt the panic. We've all, we've felt all of these things. And we've learned lessons along the way, and we're still learning,
Yeah.
But we've got all this knowledge, and it's our pleasure to share it with you.
Yeah. And Pharaoh just said something in chat that I think is brilliant. We're not doing this so that you can copy the setups that Dylan and Craig and Jason give you. It's so that you can get into their heads and see how they're seeing things, and see how they're analyzing them, and see how they're
100%.
making decisions,
Yeah.
so that you can do that yourself.
Yeah, this is, we all have a unique way of going about our trading business. Like you saw, Jay was shorting Link. It was never on my radar to short Link. And, he has his methods. These are tools we use. And like I've in my life watched a lot of traders. I used to watch so much content. I did courses, like I did all this stuff. And you take bits from people you learn from, people you watch. I'm learning from Bruce all the time, there's always new information coming in, and use it in your armory. Take the best of, what you're seeing out there, and use it to suit your style and how you trade and your psychology. Because everyone's different, the way they view money, the way they view a losing trade, how you feel when you're winning. That's very unique stuff,
Yeah.
and it's about, a lot of it's about self-awareness and how you behave in situations when you are up and when you are down. It's how you're going to react to it. And I know sometimes the guys joke that we all so calm, but you have to be. Panicking is not going to help you. It's not going to solve your problem.
No.
So you just got to step back, look at the levels, look at the areas, and say, okay, and then you make hard decisions. If it loses XYZ level, then I'm done, and you cut and you walk away. And I'll tell you what, 2 hours later, you're going to feel so happy you cut, because if you come back another day and you stayed in, you've lost another $1,000, whatever the story is. And then you start thinking, shit, I wish I cut it then. But and that soul situation for me, this one, I sat there and I was a little bit red, and I sat there and I was like, this is the 382. I'm not doing anything until I see what happens at this 382.
Right.
And I stepped back and I let it play out, because that's my level and that's what I work with.
Yeah.
And fortunately it bounced, but I'd rather would have gone deeper and sat in a bigger loss just to see it react on that 382 than to cut it early and then have that feeling afterwards that I could have just waited. So, and that's why you guys see for me that I trade on 12-hour, 8-hour daily, and I like those tight entries the most, otherwise you get in these super uncomfortable situations. What was I charting? I can't find it. Oh, Kuji. Yes. Okay. So Kuji, I'm looking at it now as a range play. Okay. So, this area was, I wouldn't say fake out, but, it's something to watch. This is now support for me. So, 618, again, just a nice little 618 retracement. So if you pulled this fib on this move up and you were out and you're looking for a pullback, you would have pulled the 618 and the 382 probably. Okay, so, if you wanted to be long, you might have tried there. You probably would have been stopped. Okay, and then the next area, 618, even better, because it ties in with horizontal that we can see here. Okay, and we have a 618. So this is for me, was a superior sort of area. So yeah, for me, Kuji support 0.76, and then watch this 200-day down there. Carver. Yes, I think we had a 200-day bounce, or it's playing around there.
Oh, go take a look at Tomo for a second on the 15-minute.
Tell me this thing's pumped. Yes.
Yep. There we go.
We're making money. We're making money. We're making money.
We are.
Nice, Bruce. Thank you.
Yep.
Good one.
No, thank you. You're the one.
Good
I got
one,
the entrance. You pumped it. So A team effort.
Well, yeah, that's good. Awesome. Thanks. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Carver guys, yeah, it hit our area from yesterday. Okay, so you lose the 200 day. We said, what's next? The support region here, and lo and behold, there it is, bouncing off another solid support zone. Cool. So that's the area now. This is our new mark for Carver. We play this zone. If we lose that, here's our area 8.25. That's my next bounce zone for Carver. But also been very quiet, eh? Hasn't done much. So here's a trick, guys. I mean, somebody gave us this trick with a measuring tool using shift. So thanks for that. What did he do? Oh, yes. Okay. So thanks for that. And here's a trick that I use. I have shown you guys before, but if you want to pull a trend line, instead of just finding randomly and clicking where you want to pull it, you can click on the trend and then you go above the candle you like and you push the control button and it pops exactly on the top of the candle. So that's why some of my trends look so accurate. If you hit that control, it pops exactly on the top of the candle. Now that we're all sharing tips and tricks on TradingView. So play the Carver trend, play the support. Could see that double bottom maybe. Let's see how that plays out. But yeah, for me, this is support now, 8.8, 8.84, that sort of region. GRT. Okay, yeah, GRT was on some horizontal yesterday. Let's see what it's doing today. Otto says, Dylan, can you tell us how full bull market is? Full bull market is like you make so much money just trading and being long, and it just keeps coming in. It's like sitting under this tree, this money tree of stuff falling on you. But then at the same time, you get overly excited and you start wrecking yourself at the same way. And it becomes so easy to make money that you start throwing it away, doing stupid shit. So and it happened to all of us, in the 2021 bull market. It's just like every day you're opening a trade and you're making money. And then you start getting like you start losing your discipline. And then you look back like when the bull market's over and you think, shit, you know what, if I just stuck to my rules and my plan, and I actually started, moving money aside instead of being aggressive, doing extra 5x, extra 10x trade, would have made tons more money. So, sit here with us. Let's talk about these levels. Let's talk about these areas. Listen to what we're saying, and learn from that. We've all learned from that. It was too easy to make money, basically, in that bull market. And we've now fought hard for 18 months. But it's been a good lesson, and it's prepared us well for the next one. So, we're ready for it. It's definitely going to be different. But yeah, a full bull market is like, it's the best thing in the whole world as a trader. I can tell you that much. It's you can't beat that.
I don't know if this is accurate, but my perception is that this market's so choppy that it's actually pretty easy to get an entrance, but a trend only lasts for a few minutes. So you're in, you're out. You don't get a lot out of it. But once a bull market starts, isn't it harder to get an entrance because things are just spiking?
Yes, but you get those 236 and you get the 382 pullbacks on the 8 hour, and you just fire it up and then it goes. And these trends just keep going. It's like, no, it's incredible. And you look at your P&L and you might be in 5 or 6 positions and they all like 1,000% up. And you're showing your friends and everyone's laughing, and it's like it's actually ridiculous. But the worst thing you can do is start looking for shorts as well. In the bull market, you can get hurt. But yeah, it will be triggered by BTC. If I remember correctly, BTC will just run. And that'll pretty much be the sign, I think. But yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be ready. It has been disappointing that we don't get these, like, we're not getting like these like 2-week or 3-week moves in the
Right.
market,
Right.
which is what we keep planning for. And then they keep cutting us short, so it gets frustrating. But yeah, when it comes, we're going to be ready, and you guys are going to be here with us. We'll be doing it together.
Yeah, it's like batting practice. Just this is practice time.
Yeah,
Getting good at the skills and getting good at the charting and getting good at taking the trades, getting good at knowing your exchange inside and out.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, this came up earlier and has nothing to do with an individual trade. If you are not really fluent in how to use your exchange, like Bybit or MXU, whatever you're using, stop and take the time to get to know it. They almost all have demo modes or paper trading modes. You should know how to use that thing inside and out. That would be like not knowing it is like asking a pilot how to fly a plane, but not how to use a cockpit. Just take the time to really learn it. And there's lots of videos on it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you definitely need to know what you're pushing and what you're operating in there, guys. There was a question here. If Bitcoin drops to 28K, what would FTM's buy zone be? So that's a good question. Let's see if we can figure it out using science.
Okay. Mad science.
Okay, so 28K BTC. That's deeper than the 382. So you definitely want to send us to hell, basically. Let's see. 618 is probably the next area. There's also this level. Okay, that level. So there's your 28. Okay, so that's not unreasonable. It's not really something we want to see, though. These alts are going to get hurt. So let's see, from here to here, that's only 5%. I mean, it looks so much on the chart, but it's only 5%. I reckon 5% BTC over the time that it takes, Bruce, and tell me your thoughts on this too. But if BTC comes down, it will often come down, quite hard there, the second one. So we'll get that drop, it'll be a little, and then it'll be a big one down. But once it's here, then I think these alts will start bleeding out, and dominance will obviously start climbing. So, a 5% BTC for me is probably a 15 to 20% altcoin move.
The thing I'm looking at, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go finish.
No, go, carry on.
No, I was when everybody was all freaking out that Bitcoin was dropping back down to support and wick down below the level everyone had marked, and everyone's freaking out. I started looking at it going like, it was like it triggered something. What does it look like? What does it look like? And it dawned on me that I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Wyckoff spring where it drops down to that 382 level. I marked it on my chart. And uses that, because that's usually why it usually drops down to that level, comes back up, retests to the old horizontal support level, and that begins the bull run. So right before the bull run, I think that would be an interesting signal. Not that it won't drop lower, but I looked at yesterday and that looks really familiar and is a very common pattern.
Yeah, and it will create a nice degree of panic in the market if we lose that range. I mean, in fact, it's the dream setup for like the whales or the market makers or whoever. It's the dream setup for them to drop it down there, so everyone starts panicking. Okay, and then how do they screw you the most? They reverse it and they send it back. Okay, so everyone's exiting, panicking. It's over. It's going back to 20, and they pump it back up.
And everybody was panicking yesterday. I mean, listening to the chat and people's discussion, even here, oh my God, just because we had that one wick that came down to, what was it, 29,556. I was like, literally, you watch the emotion in the world change. And yet we bounce back.
But now again, obviously, guys, it's very stressful when it's coming down to the bottom of the range, because is this time different? Is this the time it's going to break the range? But you can't behave like that. Like you're gonna do more damage to yourself. You need to have your process, and like we trade the range until it breaks. Okay, so we trade the range till it breaks. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, they gave us a fake out. They caught everyone. Yeah. Well, there's a couple that didn't. There's a couple of people running around saying they shorted the top. You know, for me, I was so focused on the alts that I thought
Yeah.
once we got that break, I was looking for alt moves, because now we wanted the second push up, because I actually thought this is the one that sends us to 34, 40.
Yep.
You know, so
Yep.
I was planning for that.
Yep.
You know, but ultimately we came back down and we came to the bottom of the range.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
if you zoomed out, there's your candles. Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't even make the low. Okay.
Right.
So it was a shit feeling, obviously, watching it. But like
Mhm.
when you see it coming down, you check dominance. Dominance, I think, was pretty flat. The alts were
Mhm.
holding their areas. The alts were holding the same areas that they were holding when BTC was here at 29,
Yeah.
800. They held those levels. It dropped down. Those alts sat there. They held it, which is quite
Yep.
interesting to me. So
Everything
that's my
came to support
checklist.
and stayed there. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
look at dominance. I look at the alts. I look where BTC is. I look at BTC's next level. Yeah, obviously, guys, it's hard not to panic. You know,
Mhm.
it's stressful, but that's why I like to zoom out, look at the levels, and just back the levels. Why this is why you're sitting here. You know,
Yep.
you're sitting
Yep.
here to learn about these things. You know, and trust what you're learning out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, after I think you mentioned it yesterday, but I actually stuck in a limit order on spot at the 382 level.
It's so obvious for me. You
Yeah.
know, that they could wick us here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you saw, guys, Solana, look how it reacted to this 382. Okay.
Yep.
It happens everywhere. BTC loves a 618.
Mhm.
382 for sure. You know, it's a sneaky little buy here. 29,
Yep.
150, somewhere around there. Could
Mhm.
happen while you're sleeping. Let's see.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so to answer Lee's question, if BT drops to 28K, sorry, we got carried away talking. So if BTC drops to 28K, for Phantom, I definitely would say 21 cents. And then, you know, a real horrible situation would be about 17. But I think it would be fair to assume that we'd come down to 21, 21, 22. And that would be a 17, 16% move. So that, to me, that kind of, you know, 5% Bitcoin is a lot. It really is a lot
Mhm.
when you translate it into alts. Yeah, so that's, and you guys, you zoom out on the alts that you watch, that you like, and look for these areas lower down. And you'll see, I did it on
Yeah.
Phantom, you know, take a gauge, 15, 20%, look for those levels in those areas, and that should help you. That should give you an
Yep.
idea. Okay, Lee, yeah, every day something new sinks in. Good.
Good.
Was your entry on Link also a sniper entry? I don't know what a sniper entry is exactly. I mean, Cindy, she's asking, was your entry on Link also a sniper entry? I entered it off the 200 day. Let's see how Link's looking. Yeah, it's all right. You see, like, I just back these levels. I back these areas. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I pay the penalty. My penalty is 2% or whatever it costs underneath that. And
Right.
like I'm wrong. You know, four or five times out of 10, we're wrong. This is trading,
Yep.
guys.
Yep.
You know, so but you only want to be wrong a little bit. Like, I don't want to be wrong a
Right.
lot, you know. So I'm a little bit wrong. That's fine. And I pay my ticket to be wrong. And then when I'm right, I enjoy the profits, and you know, we make a few percent. So if this trade plays out, it's a 6% target for me.
Yeah.
That's nice. Like, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Was your entry okay? So yeah, my entry on Link, Cindy, 200-day MA, 618, and horizontal support. That was enough for me to want to be long on Link. Okay, Dylan, what is the best way to approach and maximize a bull market cycle, in my opinion? I think we should have a different discussion. We should have like an actual session on this, Bruce. Craig's very good at these things. Okay, comp, please. Yeah, let's look at comp.
Yes.
Yeah, Carver has been very slow. Rodolfo buying 3K NFTs. Don't worry, bro. We've all been there. Huh? We've all been there. I own a spaceship that I paid 2 ETH for, because apparently it was such a good investment in the bull market. I think it's worth like 0.1 ETH or something now. But you just get carried away, you know. You make so much money and then you buy all the stuff and NFTs and rubbish, and oh no, it gets crazy, guys. Okay, I'm getting carried away. Yeah, let's do comp. Marius, Dylan the science guy, correct. Like, guys, I know I joke that it's science, you know, it's not actually science, you know, I'm just joking, right? We just guys drawing lines on a chart. Some of us do it well, though, you know, it bounces in these areas. It's nice. You know, but it takes time, it takes practice. Okay, comp looks like it's, oh, we looked at this yesterday. This was we were looking for it to reclaim this weekly. I still like this area, Bruce. You looked at this with me.
Okay. I think that it's retesting that level.
Yeah, guys, I still like this area. We'll see where this weekly candle closes, but you know, support is under that weekly, so 69. It's a couple of percent. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just to zoom out and look at it like from this perspective, it's a good area. It's a good area.
Like how it broke. I like how it broke out of that range, and now it's retesting it. It's classic. I mean, I bet you if you zoom in, you'll see a perfect come up over, come back down, and now it's going to stabilize right at an entry on a shorter time frame. Yep. Yep. Look at that. How perfect.
And then you've got a trend here that you can follow.
Yep. On the break of that,
see what happens there. Yeah.
I mean, I would be entering right about now. Wouldn't I mean, that looks great. I can't tell from your chart what your stop would be, but that looks
really does look good. That looks good. So your stop options are under the candle, 1%, or under the next batch. So 3.9%.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that looks cool. And comp trades quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I'm throwing that in the top of my list. I like that. Thank you, whoever brought that up. There we go.
Okay, Render's recovering. Render's pumping. JJ Coco, Render's pumping. Let's see.
Ooh.
It's okay. Getting me excited there, but it's green. You know, it's a good start. Okay. So we have our low. We know our low now. Okay. That's it. Let it play out. Nice. At least the candle turned green. That's a positive. Lido. Okay. Let's look at Lido and Near, guys. Okay, so yeah, Near is a support play here, 382. 382. Okay, it was from this low, guys, that low there to this high up there. Okay, so 382 support. Yeah, so no entry right here. Obviously, the best entry was lower down on the 382, which is what I prefer. What you can do, this is 12-hour. Let's look at 4-hour. Let's look at this trend. So we got this trend on the 4-hour. Possibly going to hold this retest. I'm not like a massive fan of trading near though, to be honest. Like that comp looked more exciting to me. But yeah, here's a break of trend, retest. Yeah, the support's quite clear. I mean, the exit's quite clear. It's under that candle. Okay, let's look at Lido. Oh, Lido's nice. Look at that. 786. Remember this, guys. Lido likes the 786. Ape likes the 786. See, nice support here. I like it. I like it here. It's very clear exit. Very clear. There's clear support. Double bottom there, turning green. I like it. So your exits under those candles, 1.977 or lower. Did we do the stacks chart? No, let's look at stacks. I think stacks was a double bottom. Yeah, it's almost like stacks has run out of flavor. It's not like responding the way it used to. But it does have support here that we're watching. You can see it's been testing this 200-day a hell of a lot, guys. So, looking at this, the move to the range high is in play. So, I mean, we're assuming that. Okay. That would just be a range play for me. And then exit points, if you want to be long stacks or you are long stacks, under that candle, 0.623, or the better one, and this is spot or low leverage stuff, 0.609, sort of somewhere around there. And then that's a clear exit point. So then the odds are, if it starts dipping below there, the odds are that we're going to come down here. Kevin, no, I didn't go to the moon in that spaceship. That spaceship is sitting in my NFT box amongst all the other junk that I thought was going to the moon. Maker is dumping. MKR. Let's look at Maker. Maker's a little bit topical at the moment. There were a lot of people talking about it like a revival on Maker. Let's take a look. There was somebody also talking about Doge. Look at Doge. Straight out of the box. I love this, guys. When it pops out of these areas, I just love it. I really love it. I mean, look at this. We back these areas. Link letting me down. Slow. Should have been in Doge. Jeez. Okay. Well, that's exciting. Guys, I got sidetracked. Bruce, what was I looking for? What was I looking at?
You were looking for BNB, my man.
Jackie.
Yo.
Let's see. Let's see what BNB is doing. Nothing. BNB
It's
letting us
getting
down.
set up. So head over to your 1 hour there.
Look, we got a few alts that look like this, actually.
So BNB has some more downside, and then it would be an excellent entry. You're looking at entries for a long at the 237 level, targeting 245.
237 level.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to catch this wick down at the bottom.
Correct. Reason is that is 50% on the big candle on the 10th of July. It's also a good resistance support flip area. And if I'm not mistaken, there was an order block just below that resistance as well.
So I'm going to say, as I usually say, don't come to me with 50%.
No,
But
so
luckily
it's
I
not
have
on the
that
5th.
786 here. Luckily I have this. Yeah, so it is a nice area, 237. Let's see if there's an order block here. 1 hour, no. 4 hour, no. 8 hour, no.
It's at 235, but that's a breaker block.
Oh, there you go. There's one at 239 as well on the 15-minute. Okay, well, you know, right now what I can see in front of me is a trend test. Looked like it actually lost it a bit, but a 618 bounce for now. Jackie is the BNB expert, not me. So if he says the best entry is 237, trust me, that's the best entry. So yeah, let that play out a bit. Wait for the 237, and it ties in nicely with this region here under 238, the 786 and the horizontal and whatever. So yeah, it could be nice.
So according to the
and
other part of algo, it says that's the strong low. So we're going to get resistance there.
okay, so look for that maybe, guys. So just be patient on BNB. Greece, how's Tomo? Oh, Maker, guys, Maker. That's what I was looking for. Okay, there's talk about Maker. Talk about Maker doing things. Okay, well that looks like a double top sort of off the bat. So let's see. Jeez, I don't know. That doesn't look awesome to me.
I don't know much about Maker. What is it?
Some kind of DeFi situation. I just saw like some guys in the research group were talking about it. There's some smart brains in the research group, and they drop alpha in there all the time.
Oh, I think we just missed a re-entry. Doge just bounced off 618.
So did you see what Doge just popped off there, Jackie? Were you around 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, it popped off on the 1 minute chart.
The one.
And it's
Okay, cool.
retested on
So
1 minute.
we'll take a look now. Maker 618 bounce trend retest. Okay, pullback area. Let's look here.
Ryan says that Maker is a governance token for DAI.
See, I don't really speak fundamentals that well, guys. So you must forgive me sometimes if I don't know. But yeah, I have heard things about Maker. That's why I was interested in it the other day. But this, yeah, I mean, this is a double top situation for now. Look, that's your 382. Yeah, I mean, the 382, you can see I've got horizontals here. That's why I like it. Obviously, the 618 is something to keep your eye on. Let's zoom out a little bit. So make a, maybe try 957, 958 potentially. If you get that, that could work. But right now I'm seeing this, okay, and that's generally more of a bearish sort of sign. So, and then what did it bounce off here? It bounced off a 618. No surprises. And look at that. The science. coming to the 4 again. Okay, and then we've got this trend up here. So yeah, maybe, you know, if it's going to continue, look for a pullback onto this 382, 958, 959, somewhere there. But that is a double top sort of vibe. So, you know, it could just make its way down to trend. Just play it tight.
We could see a smaller flag form there. So if it doesn't go all the way back to trend, you're looking at a flag within a flag.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus says, Dylan, if you have 3 coins with a similar setup and you have to take one, which one do you pick? Yeah, it's very tough to pick. I try and, you know, like sometimes I'll be biased to something like render or injective because I know it can pump. So I'll choose that over like dot, which I know has been super boring. Or Solana, you know, I have my favorites that I trade. They're not always right. And sometimes I miss out on things like Cass and Tomo and all those because I never really trade them that much, unfortunately. So I tend to, like, as a comfort zone, go back to the ones I know.
But
yeah,
I guess,
so yeah,
I guess
it's
that
a
comes
tricky
down
one.
to something Bruce was actually chatting to me about before we went live. And this whole idea of high leverage versus high volume or high margin on your trade.
Well, yeah, high, right. Position
Essentially,
size,
if you are looking at 9 tokens, but let's say 3 of them go up by 3%, and you're only doing $10 on each, essentially it's the same as someone just doing one trade on one token, and they have a 9% move with the whole $30. What's the difference? So it comes down to which out of those tokens do you actually like the most? Which of them do you understand? And in this case, marrying the token would actually be your answer.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. Sorry, say what
No,
you want
I was
to
going
say.
to say that the question we were talking about was that there seems to be so much talk about leverage, whereas leverage is just a tool in order to build a position size you're looking for. $1,000 1x trade is effectively the same as a 10x $100 trade. The difference is your liquidation and your fees are different, but in terms of your risk and stop and profit, it's the same. And people get so wrapped up on the leverage side of it that they're not doing the math correctly. So I got worried about that, concerned about that. That people aren't understanding.
I had somebody in the chat ask about ACH. That's why I'm looking at it now. Yeah, this is a last chance saloon here on the support. Before we start opening up this next area here. Okay, so another 12% down. So just, watch it here. I mean, this could be a dream long from this area. I know nothing about ACH. I've never traded it, guys. So just, be careful. But yeah, it's looking more like that wants to play out unless something bullish happens. No, I see optimism is pushing. It's quite nice. Okay. Guys, Pepe 4-hour chart, nice bounce from 618 retest. Let's see. Guys, I need to wrap it up from my side. Yeah, Pepe, we're just playing the range for now. Again, I'm not expecting fireworks out of it. There was no other reason behind me talking about Pepe the other day, other than it was just good content that it's sitting in a range. So yeah, I'm not expecting anything special out of it, but other than just potentially that move. Atom is hitting support. What do you think? Yeah, Matt, Atom really looked quite shit earlier. This is Matt Sherman. Atom looked very bad, but it was coming down into a support area. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of held up. So I actually wanted to see Atom a bit lower, funnily enough. But again, it has its weird moments, but generally it feels like it trades like dots, like quite boring. I think there's more fun or faster moving tokens to play out there. So yeah, for me, if I was looking at this, looking for a long in Atom, I'd probably look lower. or I'd just stay out of it. This white line here is a massive trend, actually. Let's take a look.
Yeah, an old trend.
Yeah, so there's a massive trend here. So there's time for Atom. I mean, Atom will have its moment again. It will. But it hasn't even broken this weekly trend. This is a weekly. So yeah, you know, it might be an entry at 8.9. But you know, we want to see that move on the weekly and then really push up. I mean, here's the 200 week, here's the 200 day. It's got a lot of work to do. I mean, a lot of these other alts have really hit these areas. 23% still for the 200 day. And remember earlier in the year, we were talking about, you know, rather focusing on coins that have broken the 200 day or are around it sort of more regularly, you know, because they were showing momentum at the time. Geez, optimism is showing a bit of strength here. We've got it here on another screen in front of me. Guys, I need to run, please.
We've killed it. We've done a great job. I mean,
yeah, that was fun as usual.
A lot of good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, look at render. Look at render. I mean,
Yeah.
So good. Okay, guys, great. We'll see you tomorrow.
Dylan.
Thanks, Bruce.
Jackie.
Thanks for hanging around.
Peace.
Cool, guys. Cheers, everybody.
Same time, same bat channel tomorrow.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao,
Cool.
ciao.